Hello, thanks for joining us today. We're going to briefly go through what Derbyshire Fire and Rescue Service can offer to support our communities and the most vulnerable to help keep them safe from fire within their own homes. The main aims of this presentation are to help you recognise what makes somebody vulnerable to fire, to understand what a safe and well check is and what we can do on a visit, to know what we can offer people to make them safer, and how to make a referral. We recognise that certain characteristics may increase the likelihood of having a fire in the home. We have developed the Charly Scheme to help partners identify these. If you identify one or more of these characteristics, either in your professional role or family and friends, you can refer them to us for a free safe and well check. These characteristics include care and support needs, hoarding and mental health issues, alcohol and medication, reduced mobility, lives alone, inappropriate smoking, elderly, age 65 and above. Whilst we are sure you understand these characteristics, from a fire point of view, they may increase risk in the home. Care and support needs can increase fire risks if someone is struggling to undertake activities of daily living, such as cooking or self-care, and may be categorised as self-neglect. Hoarding increases fire spreading in a property and may impede escape routes. The hoarding toolkit can be found on our website for scales and further information. Alcohol and medication may mean individuals cannot respond to a fire or forget they are cooking. Reduced mobility may mean someone needs assistance to exit a property in an emergency. If someone lives alone and they cannot respond to a smoke alarm or are hard of hearing, additional equipment may be needed. Inappropriate smoking is still one of the main causes of fatal fires. This is where someone may drop a cigarette without putting them out properly or smoking in bed. Elderly occupiers may have multiple factors and health conditions that impact on all of the previously mentioned characteristics.
During a safe and well check, we look for the common causes of fire, including cooking, electrics and smoking. We then discuss nighttime routines and appropriate escape routes in the event of an emergency. We look around the property, identifying any potential risks and give person-centred advice. For example, if someone smokes, uses emollient creams or requires oxygen, this would require different advice to someone who has very low risk and limited sources of ignition. During the visit, we may provide equipment to reduce risks, and most importantly, we check smoke alarms are working. The occupier can hear them and know what they mean. We recommend a smoke alarm on every floor, and should someone not have smoke alarms working, we will fit them immediately.
The lowest level of equipment we provide are smoke alarms, and we recommend one on every level. The alarms we provide are 10-year battery operated, and to test them you press the centre button like this. We recommend everyone test their smoke alarms once a week. If smoke alarms are needed in a property, we fit them immediately. If someone is hard of hearing, we might provide a YSafe Alarm. This has interlinked smoke alarms and a base unit. The base unit, this piece, goes next to the bed and the pad goes under the pillow. On activating, the unit flashes a bright light and the pillow pad vibrates in order to wake the occupier. I'll just demonstrate. A YSafe would be appropriate where the occupier does not live with someone who would be able to respond to a standard smoke alarm. If someone has had threats of arson, we can provide a Sash Jammer that works like a window lock. This allows people to secure their letterbox and prevent anyone putting flammable items through, but still allows them to receive their post. If someone is smoking inappropriately or smoking in bed, we can provide bedding and blankets. This will be considered on a case-by-case basis and is dependent on risk factors and evidence of careless smoking. This is fire retardant bedding, not fireproof. In the most high-risk cases, a portable misting system can be considered. The funding of these is dependent on the occupier's housing situation. The PMS is approximately 2 metres high and holds a tank of water containing 110 litres. It is connected to at least 2 smoke alarms. On activating, it projects a mist into the room to suppress any fire. These systems are also directly linked to our control room, ensuring quick identification of emergency.
I'm now going to share with you a case study of a job that I went to a few years ago. An elderly lady who'd been bedbound for many years had carers 4 times a day, and she was a heavy smoker. The carers would support her in and out of bed, give her cigarettes, which she regularly dropped onto the bed, causing burn marks, and when she was in her chair, she used her smoking blanket. This is the actual blanket. When we visited her, we gave her advice and issued some fire retardant bedding packs. Unfortunately, she continued to drop cigarettes, and whilst the bedding prevented a fire starting, she had a lot of singe marks on the bed, and the concerns were increased when smoking at night, as she didn't have any supervision. After working with her, she agreed to have her last cigarette with the carers, and these were then put in the kitchen overnight with her consent. During the night, she changed her mind, climbed out of bed, and despite not having walked in years, she crawled into the kitchen, found her cigarettes, and then went back into bed. She then dropped a cigarette, setting fire to the mattress, as when she had moved in the bedding and climbing back into bed. Luckily, her smoke alarms were linked to Careline and they called 999. Happily, the lady was okay and the firefighters managed to get to her in time. Due to the risk, a PMS was agreed and fitted to keep her safe and for her to remain at home.
After a visit, we can provide feedback as and when required, or signpost onto other agencies. One of the most common recommendations we make are occupiers having linked smoke alarms to a pendant system. This provides third-party monitoring and ensures help is on the way if the occupier is unable to respond to a smoke alarm for any reason.
Always remember, there is no harm in using professional judgment to refer to us. Sometimes something just doesn't feel right. If you would like to make a referral, please contact the relevant area admin office. If you are working with young people who have displayed fire-setting behaviour or a fascination with fire, we have a dedicated youth team that can also be contacted via the area admin officers. If you have any queries, please just contact us. Thanks for watching.